The AW T-Wagen is out now for BeamNG. It's a new, law-friendly 1990s European van mod. There's so much content to check out, so I'm going to show you all the features as we take it for a test drive. So the T-Wagen is a multi-purpose van from the company AW. That's the BeamNG version of Volkswagen. And the T-Wagen is based on the Volkswagen Transporter T4. The T-Wagen is available in many different variants and configs. These are the two basic variants. We've got a cargo van and a passenger van, or a minibus. There's a lot of space in this van. You can access it via a sliding door, or there's these split doors at the back. You can open them like so. A lot of room in there, and lots of space in the minivan as well. You can see the lights turn on in here. We've got a row-based minibus configuration here. 8 seats in the base version, and you can also open the trunk like so. You couldn't fit much in there. Maybe your suitcases if you were going away. There's also a really nifty little feature we don't see on many BeamNG mods, an opening fuel door, and of course this van is a diesel. Under the hood is a quite surprising engine. It's a 5-cylinder 2.4 litre diesel. It definitely sounds like those rattly van engines, but I'm not sure it sounds like a 5-cylinder. What do you think? The interior is very high quality. It's definitely at the level we expect for law-friendly mods these days. And check out the seats, these really 90s retro seats. We've got some very clear gauges down there, and the odometer does work. Plus, you can roll down the windows. No electric windows in this one, and we can roll down the passenger window too. There are electric windows. We'll check those out in other configs. So, driving the AW T-Wagen. Now that engine, the 2.4 litre diesel, produces 89 horsepower, so it's not a lot, but this diesel is all about torque. And this vehicle weighs nearly 2 tons, and it's surprisingly quick. You know, we're not going to get an amazing 0 to 60 time, but it would be totally usable in modern traffic. You could even do some overtaking with it. The most impressive thing about this van is how well it brakes and how well it handles. You do get a little bit of understeer, but it feels like and drives like a vehicle much smaller and much lighter. You do still have that quite high up driving position, and I also really like the force feedback. Obviously, you don't know what it's going to be like without a wheel, but trust me, whoa, this feels really nice, really nicely weighted. It's quite a tall vehicle, especially for European streets. It's just slightly shorter than the H series, and the driving position is about the same as the H series. So from the driver's seat, you have a really nice driving position. You can see everything in front of you and behind you, whoa, from these big mirrors. So then, time for a crash test. Just gotta find something driving in the opposite direction. Here we go, perfect. An H series van. Oh, wow. It's got a very rigid body, doesn't it? I mean, it wasn't the fastest crash, but look, absolutely no deformation on the passenger cabin, but the front has been really crumpled up. That engine bay is so tiny, so short, and it's, whoa, what are you doing? It's absorbed all the force of the crash. Oh, look, he's pushing us out the way. Oh, thanks a lot. Okay, building up some speed, coming downhill. We're going to go into these trees. Slow motion, about 60 miles per hour. Whoa. Oh, that is the deformation I was looking for. Look at the deformation on the passenger cabin. The T-Wagen comes with 28 configs, and there's a lot of content in here to check out. Now, this is a paid mod. It's available on Patreon and Gumroad for $4.50. I'll leave some information down in the description, and if you'd like to win a copy of this mod, I've got 2 copies to give away on my Discord server. You can find info about that in the description and the pinned comment. Another body style is called the Cargo High, and you can see this extension bit on the top. That gives you quite a bit more room in here to store large objects. And being a van, there's a near infinite number of liveries you can apply to it. This is the Build R construction variant. These people do like refurbishments, kitchens and bathrooms, things like that. I don't know if that's a real website. I hope it is. Anyway, this is the BeamNG's. This is a Polish equivalent, I guess. I think they do home renovations in Poland. Then we've got the roadside assistance thing with a very nice BeamNG BeamNG inspired logo there. Really cool livery. Lots of these roadside assistance people use an orange livery. And finally, we've got to the door deliveries. It kind of reminds me of like an Every van, that kind of livery, but I'm assuming we'll see an expansion mod or like a livery mod on the repo in future to expand the T-Wagen. And under the hood of the delivery van, we've got the 2.5 litre 5-cylinder engine. It's called the ITD, that's TDI. It's a turbo diesel, and listen to this. Now that does sound like a 5-cylinder. Now in comparison to the 2.4 litre, it's not crazy fast, but you put your foot down and you do get a bit more instant response. There's not much turbo lag from that turbo, which is really good, except when you're in the wrong gear. We also have a slightly modernized interior with a custom sat-nav screen that's really nice and clear, easy to read, and the van is a lot heavier, so if we crash, what's going to happen? Whoa, we just smashed stuff out the way. And the van weighs nearly 2.4 tons because back here we do have lots of cargo boxes. Yes, this mod does support career mode. And there's several different loads you can put in the back here. I'm going to go for the mattress stack. Let's open the sliding door. Look at those. I think we could get another 3 in there and still have room to spare. Another cool thing you might miss, you have to lift the vehicle onto its side to see, because we've got a spare wheel back here. It's actually held in place by this bracket. I'd be worried about that falling out, and look how rusty it is. I don't think it's ever been used. There are some fun custom configs. For example, we've got the multicolor, and this is based on a trend that Volkswagen were kind of pursuing in the 90s called the Harlequin, and there was a Harlequin Polo, I think released in 1995, that had this multicolor effect to show you all the different colors that you could get your Polo in. I'm not sure if they did it for the T4, but they did do it for the Golf and other vehicles. Then we've got the Beta. There's a lot of Beta configs in BeamNG mods these days, and I love to see it. Look at the dirt, look at the rust. Really nicely applied rust on here. Looks very believable for a livery. We also have damaged piston rings, and I think I can hear a conrod knock. Listen. Oh, it doesn't start. There you go. Yeah, that is not a healthy engine. And then in the parts list, you can change the paint design to be a free candy van. Nice little Easter egg to include this meme. We've still got the rust down there, but then free candy, spray painted on both sides. Just don't get in this van if you see it by the side of the road. Moving up the range of the T-Wagen, we've got the comfort vans. These are slightly higher specified vans, and we have slight different changes like different wheels, different bumpers, and in the passenger variant of this USDM model, we've got an airbag steering wheel. Yes, this mod does have US domestic market models, and I didn't know it was even sold there. But if you want to move up the range even more, you can get the multi-ride. This is the highest specification, or the highest trim level of the passenger van, and basically, well, it's a bit special in here. Look at these multi-ride seats. I think they're leather and fabric. And then back here, we've got opposing direction seats. Makes it almost a bit more like a camper van, doesn't it? We've also got these little curtains in here, so you can have absolute privacy. If I open the door, there you go. You get lights up really nicely in here, and you can see the seats in all their glory. In the front, you get the airbag steering wheel and a sat-nav as standard. And here we go. Welcome to the 21st century. We can open the windows with electricity. Oh, yes. This is really tomorrow's world gone mad. Let's drive this thing. We've got 154 horsepower, quite a bit more, and that's because it's got a tuned ECU for the later model years. Whoa, here we go. Automatic gearbox. So how does it handle? Well, very bouncy, isn't it? But you get a good amount of acceleration from that engine. We don't have any traction control or ESP and nothing like that, just ABS in this thing. And I love the sound of the engine when you accelerate. Wow, it still sounds like a diesel van, but there's something a little bit like, you know, Volvo 5-cylinder about it. And I'm happy to report that the mod creator Traxxer is developing a camper van variant of the T-Wagen. There's also going to be some off-road content right now. You've got a few race cars we'll be checking out, but nothing for off-roading. Of course, there's some police configs. We've got the Polish police van. It looks really nice with this livery. We've also got these mesh grills over the front and the rear lights. So if somebody smashes them, they shouldn't be damaged too much. Then we've got the Polizia, the Italian police van. Really nice in there. This thing's used as more of kind of like a minibus with the opposing seats. Really nice in this thing, and quite a bit of room back here with this big bulkhead. I think to protect I don't know, people getting out? I really don't know. Then we've got the Carabinieri. This is the military Italian police. We've still got the mesh lights on this one. Oh, and there's also a mesh grille over this window. Now, I think this is used more of like a riot van, and there's even a little bit of dividing glass between the passenger compartment and the driver's area. We also have a radio down here for phoning into base. We've also got this German taxi config, and it's painted in that quintessential beige color that you see in all the Berlin taxis, all the German taxis. Now, the tow hook on this is even painted beige. That's kind of funny, but we've got a little taxi sign up here and inside a radio so we can communicate with headquarters. And now we've got the highest spec road variants. These are the multi-ride V6R. These have a V6 engine. Yes, it's the VR6 Volkswagen engine. It's a 2.8 litre unit producing 219 horsepower. And what an engine it is. Look at that. Now, the VR6 isn't quite a V6, it is, but they have very narrow angles between the cylinders, so it's a slightly modified V6 design, and they produce that wonderful noise. Even better from the twin exhausts. You can get it as a manual or an automatic, an EU model or a US model. We're going to go for the EU manual. Now let's see how sporty a 1990s van can be, because this is the most sporty variant. And we've also got all-wheel drive. That should give us good grip on this mountain road. Unfortunately, it doesn't feel like the suspension has been beefed up at all. We've still got quite a lot of body roll, but wow. Whoa, keep going. Over the curb. Tire didn't burst. That's amazing. Okay, hairpin corner. Can we get this van to drift? Let's try it. Oh my goodness. No, not really. We haven't got enough horsepower. Surprisingly, the engine, whoa, is quite muffled in the interior, but you can still hear a bit of that VR6 magic. Whoa, brakes. Good brakes. Good turning circle too. Yeah, it still drives pretty well, but now we've got that really nice acceleration. And then we've got the street-tuned van. This has got a Stage 1 turbo upgrade, and we've got some very nice paintwork on here with these bits of black, which are not windows. No, they're just part of the body, but it really does look like they're very tinted windows, and I love the AW logo. Back here, we've also got these black wheel rims and then slick tires. Oh my goodness. It is all-wheel drive, so let's see how fast it is on the highway. Of course, we've got a digital dash down there and a Nomi steering wheel. Right, let's go. How many gears have we got? 5 gears. Let's see what kind of speed we can get to on the highway. Oh, you know what? I'm going to turn traffic on. There you go. At least it adds a bit of challenge to this test. Here we go. What is the top speed of the AW T-Wagen? The suspension is very firm in this thing, but we're getting a lot of grip from that all-wheel drive system and the tires. Well, 5th gear, we're doing well. 120 miles per hour, still going. For a van, that is pretty impressive. 125. Oh my goodness, still going. No, that's it. I think we're capping out at about 125. Well, that's not bad for a van. Here we go. Whoa! Big crash test there. Yeah, I'm impressed with the crash model. And finally, we're at the West Coast USA racetrack for the Project GTW. This is an attempt to make the T-Wagen into a GTI van. You can see the custom front end here, custom bumper, and these headlight covers which make the lights into separated circles. I really like them. Nice livery down the side, very simple, blue with a white stripe and T-Wagen. And then we've got these Per Sport wheels. Remember, Per is like the RUF of BeamNG. Inside, it's very similar to the multi-ride V6R configs, but I did just notice, look, the V6R logo lights up when you turn the lights on. Okay, let's take it onto the racetrack. So, first gear. How many gears do we have in this thing? Is it 6? No, it's still 5. That's bizarre. Oh, you can specify a race 6-speed manual transmission in the parts menu, but we're not going to do that. We're going to drive this thing stock. Off we go. Amazing acceleration from this thing. And into the first corner. Whoa, we're getting a little bit of body roll, but the suspension has definitely been beefed up, and so have the tires and the wheels. Pushing it through, it's handling very flat. Here we go, we can kind of power through the corners, thanks to the all-wheel drive, just dragging us through the corner. Okay, down into second. This is a lot better, but it's still a van. Whoa! The engine is very quiet here. I guess there's a lot of like sound insulation to stop you hearing that engine, because it's normally a diesel. Whoa, come on. Yeah, a lot of understeer and a lot of torque steer as well. Brake a little bit and onto the long straight. I'm hoping for a better top speed than 125 here. Listen to that. Wow, we've already broken the 125 mark. There's 130 over the crest of the hill at 140. We lifted off slightly there. Front wheels came off the ground. Brakes, brakes, brakes. Very good brakes. I'm so impressed with them. Whoa, backfire from the exhaust. Okay, up to the corkscrew corner. Let's see how we do. Have I ever driven a van around the corkscrew corner? I can't remember. Anyway, we're going to do it now because here we go. 80 miles per hour, slowing down a little bit. Probably braked a bit too much there. Whoa, we were just getting so much understeer. I couldn't get it to stay on the apex. Let's try that again. Right, let's not be too scared to push it a little bit too fast into the corner. Here we go. Whoa, that's a lot of understeer, but it's not bad. You know, they have done a good job at making this a sporty van. I'm impressed. So that was the AW T-Wagen. I'm very impressed, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. I've left links to the Patreon and Gumroad where you can buy this mod in the description, and I do have a giveaway on my Discord server that'll be running for the next couple of days after this video's release. Well, that was a lot of fun checking out another amazing lore-friendly mod in BeamNG. The end of 2025 is going to be crazy. Lots of mods are due to release. This is just the first of many. So stay tuned, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, join the Discord server, all of that stuff, because I review mods as soon as possible after they release. If you'd like to see some more BeamNG, click the video on screen right now. It's a towing challenge. Which can tow the best? An SUV, a pickup, or a wagon? You can find out in that video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon for some more simulator adventures.